they... Oh. Wait. Let's go through some... So, they come back in 5 days. So it's not them. They left a month ago. They leave in 3 days. And finally, they left a week or 2 weeks ago. So it's got to be someone on this ship. Mr. Jack Crocker, Duncan Chalmers, Peter Davison. Hang on. I don't know why that name was familiar. Wait, no, Fifth Doctor, isn't it? Ah, that's what. Which boat am I going to? Is it this one? It's this one I'm after. Yes. Right. Murdoch Hooper, not on there. Frank Wilkie, no. Oh, Wilkie, sorry. George Stewart, yes, so it's Jack Crocker.
This list showed Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days. This list...
Yes. And there's no one else, I don't think. Oh, maybe there is. Marcus, George Stewart, Frank Wilkie. Okay, so I should... Okay, I think I understand what I'm actually meant to be doing, which I'm meant to be clicking on these and going, okay, this person couldn't have done it. Right, we'll go back here. So... because anyone else on these lists means they can't do it. So, J.H. Dunford.
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
That was irrelevant. John Foxhall. Herbert Whittington.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Crossed out, yes. Ah, okay, so that's what I'm doing. Thomas Walker.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
So we're crossing off everyone else. It's probably a good idea, isn't it? Just in case there's someone who's no longer employed. Archibald Rogers, was that someone? James Talcott. Henry Southwood. Ernest J. Woods.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Henry Southwood. Charles W. Chill.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
William Partridge.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
So, yeah, Henry Southwood. Have I missed him off? Henry Southwood. Ah, there we are.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
There we go. One person is left.
Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Indeed. So we've got that ready. Now we need to find him. Call him and confront him.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
I should take my hat off before we do anything else. Before calling him here. It's only proper. I have worn this hat too long. I need to take it off. There we go. People only ever do the half for chimes. It gets a little bothersome. It was just charming if you didn't catch it. Wiggins!
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Watson, you have a revolver, I hope. Everything should be alright.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Give him a brief look over. Clear look, honest. Ooh. Strong build. Newspaper ink. So he's... Ah! He's been reading to see what's happening with regard to the news. Clean boots. Trousers don't look clean, but it might just be me. A sea knife. There we go. And he's probably taller than me. How do you know Lady Brackenstall?
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see.
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You? And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
You were the one who tied her up.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
They were tied with old sailor's knots.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Shark. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
Yes.
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Okay, what do we know? What have we learned of him? Crocker is a fine man of the sea, aged in his 40s. He is a capable, honest man and well educated despite not being very wealthy. He was in haste, and still he read the morning newspaper and cleaned his boots before heading out. Why clean the boots? Like the newspaper, I understand, but cleaning of the boots, I do not comprehend. Still something to investigate here, and it bothers me. We shall have to do that. In the hope that it might give me a bit more. Now if I look here, okay, what clues do we now have? Right. Captain Crocker knows Lady Brackenstall, but he may be lying about his occupation on the night of the murder. Only sailor who is aboard the Rock of Gibraltar. So the options are, right, if he has an alibi, nothing works. It has to be him. The only thing that works out. Which means the captain was the killer. Right, okay, so still want to see if there's another bit of evidence that we can pick up from Abbey Grange before making a final conclusion. Wait, right. No, that's not what I wanted. Bruises on your hand are at least a week old. So he caused the old bruises, and considering the possibility of the relationship between Jack Crocker and Lady Brackenstall, I doubt he would have been the one to cause her. He's a strong man, probably with some passion. Thoughts. Right. They're here. They are the two drinking. he comes down, hearing something, with his stick, hits her, and then, it's like, out of passion, Crocker pulls the poker out and hits him, killing him in one blow. Death was instant. That's what Watson said. Death was instant. Then they come up with this Randall's business to try and cover it up.
The hunting scene.
This is still examinable. I want to know why. Why? Well, I think we'll go under that theory. So the captain did it. It's just whether to absolve or condemn is the question. I think we will. We have the conclusion, let's do it. The captain is the killer. Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. The murderer was tall and agile, a high-ranking sailor. So we have him arrested. Jack Crocker is a murderer, and you will bring him and his accomplice, Lady Brackenstall, to justice. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it secret. There's no need to inform the police. I think we'll go with that. Because, yeah, it was all tied up in self-defense, although we will absolve the captain. Confirm your choice. Yes.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Barely an hour has passed. Uh-oh.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Oh, okay. What? Whoa. Oh, I see. I'm trying to get the gun off him. No. Stop it. I'm not sure who he was going to shoot, but I'm worried.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
Where the sun shineth.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Right, so we found 16 clues. Right, so Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstall that night. They staged it as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used his sea knife to cut the bell rope to tie the lady, and then hid the silverware in the well. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a fiend, and dipsomaniacal man. You've decided to keep it a secret. Found 16 clues. The captain is the killer. What did we... we got all the clues, but all right. Obviously, the sideboard was not as important as I feared it might be, so accept the decision. Warning, you're about to finish the case. The save files for this case will be removed. Press no if you'd like to select another moral choice, or yes, we'll go with that, I think. People solved the case, 93%. People made the same moral choice, 65%. Okay, so... yes, there's not many 50%. I think it's probably because you can check. That might be why why they're all very high. So I'll have to... Right, so let us continue then. And yes, thanks for watching to this one. I think this reminds me of one of the stories, but I can't remember. So, well, thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.